Greetings one and all. Trust we are all safe. I am going to be a facilitator for this morning. My name is Mr. Ikan from Umgungundlovu TVET College in Pietermaritzburg. Today we will be looking at report 191, building drawing N1. Your topic for discussion today is doors. We're going to be looking at the different type of doors, the parts or components to a door, and how we actually draw some of the doors. Remember, all the above will be shown to you in a drawing. So the different types of doors, the different components to a door, and how we actually draw a door will be shown to you. Okay. We're going to look at, once again people, drawings are not according to scale. We're going to look at the first and most common type of door that we have, which is our ledge and brace door. Ledge and brace. Now we have internal doors, we have external doors. Internal doors are there for internal purposes. External doors, like we say, for external purposes. External door will be your front door to your house, will be your back door to your house. Internal door will be a door leading to your bathroom, your bedroom. Those doors are normally hollow in the center, but your outside doors are more solid. Now your ledge and brace door is made up of different components. We have what we call ledge. Now in South Africa, the normal ledge and brace door is made out of pine. And these are made out of ledges and braces to hold it together. So first of all, what we have is, we have what we call panels. Okay, I will give you a simple illustration on how this works. We will do a very small door, very small door. Okay, remember the height of the door. Normal height of a door works according to the opening of the door, which is normally 2 meters. And your width of your door is 800 millimeters. Right, so 2000 millimeters, which is 2 meters, 800 millimeters, which is 80 centimeters. Okay. Now we have these panels that are joined together. These panels that are joined together. And how are these panels joined together, people? If we look at the view from the top, we can see that we have one part that is shaped in that way, which is what we call the tongue. The other part that fits into the door, which is shaped like that, which is called a groove. So in other words, what actually happens is that we have a system that locks in together. A system that locks in together. Okay. Now these here that are laid in a vertical position are called our boards. Now remember, they're locked in there. To keep this into place, we need to add a piece of timber on the top. We will give these timbers names. So what happens here is this timber is normally screwed onto each panel of the door. Each board is screwed onto this piece of wood. We have one on the top, and we will have one at the bottom. Same principle will apply. Okay. We even put one in the center to make it more steady and more solid. Screwed on there. Okay. Then we go further, and to secure it further, we add another piece of timber coming over. At an angle, that way. Okay, these obviously get screwed on as well to the door. Right. So this is what we call our ledge and brace door. Okay. The components that go in a horizontal fashion is called the ledge, and the ones that go at an angle is called the brace. Okay. So we have our boards, we have our ledge, and we have our brace. If we look at this from the top, it's made out of a thong and a groove, which joins together to form it. Height of the door, normally 2 meters by 800, which is the opening of a door. This is a simple illustration of what a ledge and brace door looks like. If they ask us to draw only a ledge door, we will exclude the brace. We exclude the brace. That gives us ledge door. If they ask us for a ledge and brace door, obviously we will include the braces as well. So this is what we explain, or what is called a ledge and brace door. Normally made out of pine, can be made out of any wood. It is hard, is robust. This normally gets varnished and sealed and is used for exterior doors. Okay, now that we've looked at the ledge and brace door, we explained to you what is a ledge door, what is a brace door. We're going to look at what we call a panel door. A panel door has frames. We can have it in glass, we can have it in wood, various structures. But most important to understand is how it actually works. So let's look at a panel door, or panel doors in general. All of them have the same components. Some might have one in, some might exclude the other one. So here again, once again, we have our door frame. Right. What you doing now? What you doing now? Okay. This is a simple structure of a door. This is your panel door. So our height again of the door, once again 2 meters, because that is the standard height of a door in South Africa. Remember, doors can be custom made, frames can be custom made. Width of the door, once again, 800. The difference here is that we have a framework to this here. We have on the sides, what comes in is called a stile. Okay. Then we have our top rail. Then we have what is called a bottom rail. So in other words, this holds the whole door together. Okay. We can have a lock rail in the center because every door needs to be locked. Every door needs to have a lock. So normally what happens with this here, they can either ask you a high lock rail or a normal lock rail. Let's do a normal lock rail. So more or less center, we have a lock rail. This portion of the door is more solid than the rest of it. Why? For us inserting a lock. So this is called a lock rail. So we have the top rail, bottom rail, a lock, and our stiles around it. Further instruction can ask us to put in window frames in here, or glazing, commonly referred to as glazing. If they ask us for glazing, we divide. Let's say they ask us on the top to put in 4 glazed panels. So we will divide that in half, and we will divide that in half again. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 glazed panels. What holds a glazed panel together is what we call glazing bars. Glazing bars normally go on the side or the edges. So all this here will be glazing bars, which actually hold the glass panel in place.
So remember to write at an angle.
At an angle, okay. Glazing bars, which hold the glass panels in place. Okay. And this will be our glass panels. It goes in there. Let's say they go further and say that the bottom half of the door is divided into two sections, which is wooden panels. So you have glass panels on the top, and the bottom is divided into two equal wooden panels. So once again, center we need support. So we go center. And in the center, what holds these panels together is called a muntin. Muntin. Holding the center together because it's wood. Going further, we place our wooden panels in here, which is held together by the muntin. So this here would be my wooden panel. So we've got one wooden panel, we can do a second one here as well. Same thing would apply. Okay, so let's run through that again, people. First of all, you say you're asking us for a panel door. Our panel door has a frame. The frame is made up of further. First of all, our top rail, our bottom rail, and our side rails are called stiles. Is the side, holding the door frame together. So we have a situation like this here. That's what we have, a framework. Okay. We further have what we call a lock rail, which is placed in the center for the lock rail. Okay. So we have our stiles, we have our top rail, bottom lock rail. If they ask us to divide this and give us glass panels, we divide. We can divide it into 6, we can divide it into 9. Whatever they want us to do, we can do it that way. If they ask us to divide the second or the bottom part, covered by a muntin. If we are dividing wood, we use a muntin to separate wooden panels. If we are using a glass, we use glazing bars. To separate glass panels. Door size 2 meters by 800. Okay, guys, we've discussed so far the ledge door, the ledge and brace door, the panel door, wood glazing bars. Now let's look at a panel door that has got 4 panels in it. Terminology changes slightly. Terminology here and there changes, so we need to understand what different concepts or what different terminology they can use. So once again, we start again. We draw our stile, which comes on the side. Exactly the same that we did for the first door, we do for the second door. Wooden doors, panel doors are the same principle. So we have our stiles. Following the stiles is what? Your top rail. Then we have the bottom rail. Remember, measurements will be given to us. If there's a custom door, the measurements will be given to us. But normally we'll work on standard 2 meters by 800. Okay. Then we have our lock rail. Now let's say they give us a high lock rail. Let's say the lock rail is 1.3 meters from the bottom rail. So let's draw 1.3 meters from the bottom rail. So we can see this is more than half. Okay, so there's a lock rail. So remember once again, this is our style. This is our top rail. Here is my bottom rail. Okay. This is my lock rail. Lock rail. Now they can ask us to draw a 4-panel door, a 4-panel door. What changes here and what changes? Nothing much changes in that. We put in the center here to break or divide that door. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 panels. Okay. Now, another word they can use, instead of using a muntin, they can use what is called a mullen. It does exactly the same thing, people, but the terminology changes. We had first was called a muntin. Some of them call it a mullen. Okay, so terminology changes. So they can ask us either one. So here we're going to look at if they ask us to draw a 4-panel door with a mullen. So they'll give us a top rail, they give us a bottom rail, they will give us the size of the door, they will tell us that we have a mullen separating the 4 panels. Okay. We don't have to show them the raised and field panels. If they ask us for them, if they ask for what we call a raised and field panel, all we do is we have our panels in the center. Our panel in the center like that. Once we do this here, in other words, we're cutting it at a 45-degree angle, we can see that that panel is different from that panel there. Clearly different. So this is called a raised and fielded panel. Okay. So if they ask us to draw a raised and field panel, that's how it looks. So we'll take each one and draw each one as a raised and field panel. If they ask us to draw a glass panel door, we've covered that glass panel door with a wooden panel at the bottom. We've covered ledge doors, we've covered brace doors. So now we should have a better understanding of how doors work. Now that we understand how different doors are, it brings us to the end of this presentation. But before we part, there's a little bit of an exercise I want you to do. Practice exercise. To put all the concepts we've learned together and try and understand how we would draw a door, it should be asked in a question paper. Let's go, people. We're going to look at a ledge and brace door. Specifications are as follows. An external door is 2 meters high, 800 millimeters wide, and 44 millimeters thick. The door is made out of 100 millimeter by 44 millimeter boards. Draw to scale 1:10 the inside view of the door using the following specifications. The boards are 100 by 44 millimeters. Your ledge is 150 by 44 millimeters. Your brace is 100 by 44 millimeters. Please note, the drawing must be fully labeled. Once again, your ledge and brace door. External door is 2 meters high by 800 wide and 44 millimeters thick. The door is made of 100 by 44 millimeter boards. We need to draw to scale 1:10 the inside view of the door using the following specifications. My boards are 100 by 44 millimeters. My ledge is 150 by 44 millimeters. My brace is 100 by 44 millimeters. Please note, drawing must be fully labeled. If you do not label a drawing in its entirety, we lose marks for that. The second one is a panel door, and it goes as follows. An external door is 2040 millimeters high, 820 millimeters wide, and 44 millimeters thick. The upper portion of the door consists of 4 equal glass panels, and the bottom part of the door consists of a raised and field panel, a single raised and field panel. Draw to scale 1:10 the outside view of the external door using the following specifications. Now remember, we're doing an external door. The height of the door has been given to us. The width of the door has been given to us. On the top part of the door, we have 4 equal panels. On the bottom part of the door, we have 1 single raised and fielded panel. We did discuss that. I did draw that for you. The specifications are as follows. Your top rail is 110 millimeters by 44 millimeters. Your lock rail is 220 millimeters by 44 millimeters. Now, important to note that your lock rail is situated 1,300 millimeters from the bottom of the door. Please remember, it's a high lock rail. Bottom rail, 220 millimeters by 44 millimeters. Your stiles are 110 millimeters by 44 millimeters. Your raised and fielded panel is 50 millimeters thick. Your glazing beads is 15 millimeter thick. Please include dimension lines and labels in your drawing. Thank you and be safe.